Hi, I'm Jordan McGillis, Deputy Director of Policy at the Institute for Energy Research. I'm here to talk with you about the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement is a United Nations-backed international accord on greenhouse gas emissions. It was reached in 2015 and signed by the Obama administration. When President Obama committed the U.S. to the agreement in 2016, he did so through an executive action. What that means is that his successor, Donald Trump, was able to take the U.S. right back out through an executive action of his own. Had President Obama wanted a longer-lasting policy, he could have sent the agreement to the Senate for treaty ratification. But he probably learned the lesson of the Kyoto Protocol, which was defeated in the Senate in the 1990s. The U.S. will officially exit the Paris Agreement in November of 2020. Now, of course, if we have a new president in 2021, that person could put the U.S. right back in. The funny thing about this debate is that the Paris Agreement has no tangible requirements. It has no enforcement mechanism, and it allows each country to set its own policy. The policy set by the Obama administration was for the U.S. to reduce its emissions 26% from 2005 levels by the year 2025. That sounds ambitious, but you have to see the full context, which is that the U.S. was already on a very sound trajectory. The adoption of natural gas for electricity has helped bring down U.S. emissions about 15% since 2005. Exiting the Paris Agreement does not mean the U.S. will stop regulating greenhouse gases. The key factor here is the 2009 Environmental Protection Agency endangerment finding. That endangerment finding says that EPA must regulate greenhouse gases in accordance with the Clean Air Act. That's not going anywhere. Similarly, there are many regional and state-based regulations of greenhouse gases. A couple of examples are the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, also known as RGGI, which stretches from the Mid-Atlantic up through the Northeast and New England, and also California's Cap-and-Trade program. Even the advocates for the Paris Agreement recognize that it's a woefully inadequate means of stopping global warming. ClimateActionTracker.org looks at all of the intended contributions and the actual policies. And what they're saying is that the globe as a whole is on track to soar past everything it has on paper. The diplomats that drew up this convention may have good intentions, but they're not in touch with their governments. Governments across the globe recognize that cutting people off from natural gas, coal, and oil is going to doom communities to poverty. Consider countries like Indonesia and Vietnam. These two emerging economic giants have a combined population that exceeds the United States. ClimateActionTracker.org deems their contributions highly insufficient in the case of Indonesia and critically insufficient in the case of Vietnam. Rather than castigating these countries, I think we should recognize that people everywhere have ambition, and that a high-energy economy is the best path to prosperity for us all. For a somewhat humorous example of the Paris Agreement's absurdity, look to Pakistan. Pakistan has committed to reducing its emissions after it peaks its emissions. I'll let you think that over. The biggest player in the world's emissions future isn't the United States. It's China. China already emits twice as much as the US, and it plans to continue doing so well into the future. Its economy runs on coal, and it will only reduce its emissions according to the Paris Agreement beginning in year 2030. So whereas some people see the US exit from the Paris Agreement as a failure of leadership, I see it as a correction of naivete. Thanks for watching. For more on the Paris Agreement and other energy issues, visit instituteforenergyresearch.org.